Hello everyone, myself Bindu GH. I am studying in GM University. I am pursuing AML in 4th sem. Today I am going to explain about the recipe finding app. To implement a recipe finding app using a React, start by creating a search button where user can enter a recipe or ingredient using fetch to call a public API used on the user input. Store the API response in a state using a use state and manage side effects with the use effects. Display the recipe name, ingredients, and cooking steps using the reusable components like cart or list. Add loading and error error handling for a better user experiences. Next, coming to the code part. Here is the code I'm going to explain. Import statement. React needed to create React component. Use statement. React to message a component state. Then style CSS. External CSS pipe for styling the app. Functional component declarations. This is the main function component of the application and named app. State variables. Query. Store the text entered in a search box. Recipes. Store the fetch the recipes data from API. Function to search recipes. Fetch data from the MailDB API based on a search query. Convert the response to JSON. Check if the meal are found. If yes, save the first recipe. If no, clear the recipe state. JSX terms UI returns the HTML like structure JSX that redundant in the process. Input field placeholder shows grayed out int text values or queries. Input values to query state. On changes, update the query on the user types. Search button. Call search recipes when clicked. Display recipe cards. Only displays this part if the recipe is found. Recipe not is equal to not null. Recipe name and image. Display the name and image of the recipes. Ingredient list. The meal DB provides up to a 20 ingredients loop from 1 to 20 using the map. Get ingredients and measures. If ingredients exist, show it is in a list items. Cooking instructions. Show the step-by-step instruction for preparing the meal. Next, coming to styling. Here, first is app. Creating an app. Friend families uses a clean and moderate font. Text align center all text and elements. Adding space inside the container. Background colors. Set a light colors for a soft looks. Input text box. Padding. Add inner space for comfort. Width. Make the input box while tough to type easily. Margin right. Add space between input and the buttons. Border. Light gray borders. Border radius. Slightly rounded corners. Buttons. Next, come to buttons. Paddings. Comfortable click areas. Background color. Light orange color for visuality. Color. White text on the buttons. Border. Remove default borders. Border radius. Smooth and rounded edges. Recipe cards. Margin top. Add space above the card. Background. While background for clarity. Border radius. Rounded corner for a clear look. Padding space inside the card. Box shadow. Add a soft shadow background for the card for the depth. Image. Maximum width. Limits image size to avoid being too big. Border radius. Rounded the corner of the image to match the card style. This CSS. Give the app a clear modern soft looks. Make it easier to find the user's friendly matches warm food colors for visual appearances. We can find recipe, we can type the chicken. It will show the ingredients and how to cook. The steps will come. Here are the recipes, ingredients of using how to make the chicken, and the instructions are given how to do from first to last. This is our project. The conclusion of this project: building a recipe finding app with a React involves integrity on external API to fetch the recipe details and using the React state and component structure to display the ingredients and cooking steps. This approach create a dynamic user-friendly application that provide a real-time recipe information based on the user input. This is our small project. Thank you.